Welcome back to the Hive, Dr. Beekeepers, your beekeeping mentor. Today I thought it'd be kind of cool to answer a question that I occasionally get. I just got it recently again, so I thought, hey, maybe I should address that. So today I want to talk about master beekeeping certificates, or whatever level there is. I know some of them are just one level in some states. Others have like several tiers that you can work up and ultimately achieve each one as you go along. A greater status than the last. So in general terms, we'll just refer to those in this video as beekeeping certificates, whatever level. Most people think of master level, but that's what we got going on today, so stick around. Welcome back, beekeepers. So the question I get is some other beekeepers in the comments, or maybe they're not beekeepers, but I'm pretty sure that they are, asking me about my master beekeeping certification, like where I got it. And what's funny is that whenever people ask that, I never actually mentioned it in the video. So I'm not sure where they're coming from with their intentions. Some of them are like probably questioning my credibility, and others are just probably honestly wondering, perhaps in the hopes to pursue one for themselves. So today I wanted to talk about, I've got some notes here, the purpose of a beekeeping certification, or certification in general, no matter what you're doing, and then what a certification signifies specifically in the beekeeping industry. And then once we go through all this, I'm going to answer the question, do I have a master beekeeping certification? All right, so there are three main purposes to obtaining a certification in beekeeping. The first one is going to be skill development and knowledge acquisition. Of course, as beekeepers, we want to enhance our skills, we want to improve them, we want to level up. And as we do so, we naturally learn more. That's where the knowledge acquisition is going to come. The more that we're exposed to, not only the more we learn, but usually the faster we learn. And that includes failures and mistakes. Those are some of the best ways for beekeepers to learn, through loss or others' mistakes. Perhaps if you've got a mentor, you're going to learn a little bit faster than you would on your own. So that's why I always advocate for you guys, if you have the ability as a beginner, or even as, let's say you've got less than 5 years of beekeeping under your belt, to find a beekeeper in your area that knows what they're doing, because it's going to be more relevant to you and where you're keeping your bees. The second reason for a certification in beekeeping could potentially be career advancement and employability. Maybe you know another beekeeper that you want to work for. Maybe it's a commercial beekeeper that needs extra hands, or a beekeeper that runs a beekeeping supply store that needs someone who could answer customer questions instead of just be like, I don't know, let me find my boss. So that first reason, skill development and knowledge acquisition, is going to help you with advancing your career in beekeeping. But that doesn't necessarily mean advancing your career for someone else by working for someone else. It could be for advancing your own career. Maybe you're looking into selling your own honey or products of the hive. That might look like something like selling locally at markets, festivals, even retail stores. Or it could be online sales, or perhaps you get into your own beekeeping supplies, making your own small store and working your way up. Or like me, it could even be getting into online courses. That's one of my biggest goals, and being a speaker at beekeeping events. I really love the idea of speaking at a conference, and I've actually got that hopefully in the works for next year, that being 2025. The third reason for obtaining a beekeeping certification is likely what these people have in mind when they leave comments below my videos, and that's credibility and professional recognition. Now, there's something about today's modern world when it comes to careers, when it comes to college especially, getting a job. People want to know that you've got a degree, a piece of paper saying you have accomplished X amount of hours or courses. They put a lot of whether they're going to trust that person into whether they've got that thing, that piece of paper hanging on the wall saying they have done whatever it takes to get it. And I can get that. Credibility is an important thing to have these days because it means how much we're going to believe them or not believe them. It means whether we should trust them or not trust them. And trust is a huge thing, especially in the world of education. Here on YouTube, it is a world of learning. And you want to know that the people that you're listening to and watching know what they're talking about. And beekeeping is tricky in that way because there's so many different ways of doing things. And there's no way that even in my own beekeeping career that I could try them all and let you guys know what works and what doesn't. I can only tell you what works and what doesn't through my own trial and error and through my own willingness to get out of that stubborn mindset of doing things one way so that I can try many different ways and find out what works and what doesn't and then deliver, what I find to you. So the 6 things I came up with that a certification signifies in the beekeeping industry is that you have a trusted resource. Again, that ties into credibility. The second thing is that you set yourself up in a position to educate others about bees. That could be the public, just learning about and teaching the importance of honeybees in agriculture. It could be teaching other beekeepers about how to do it. The third thing I've got for what a certification signifies in beekeeping is that you have the ability to pursue professional opportunities within the industry. And that ties into, all of these, the original 3 purposes for getting a certification. In my experience so far in the beekeeping world, no one has ever asked for my help and then wanted to see a degree or a certification before they would allow me to do so. Number 4 on this is that you gain a deeper understanding of bee biology and a deeper understanding of their behavior. And I will tell you, after having worked hundreds and even thousands of beehives, that will naturally come to anyone who is pursuing a beekeeping career, whether it's for yourself or for others. Exposure to honeybees on a more consistent basis, on a greater frequency, and on a greater number of hives. When you're doing that for hours a day, for the majority of the warm months during the year, you are naturally going to learn about bee biology and their behavior on a deeper level. That's what I got whenever I apprenticed under my mentor for 15 solid years before I went off on my own here in North Georgia, where I've been beekeeping for the last, let's say almost 8 years now. So that'll put me into my 24th year of beekeeping. Wow, that's exciting. Kind of sneaks up on you, but it's something that I love. It's part of who I have integrated into who I am. The 5th thing I've got on this is that you learn management practices. That was another big one whenever I was in the commercial industry, learning under commercial beekeeper. He had specific management practices that most hobbyists don't. And then we would try different ones. And then his commercial beekeeper buddies would have their own management systems because they would run even more colonies, and sometimes we would help them. And so management practices not only differ from beekeeper to beekeeper, but depending on how many colonies you have, because you get to a point where you've got to figure out a way to manage your colonies so that you can get around to all of them without neglect. And it's got to be in such a way that is effective and quick. And hopefully you lose the care and the love that originally brought you into beekeeping when you're doing those things. I now hold a commercial beekeeping license. I've had it for 3 years now, since I've been in Georgia. It's required here in the state of Georgia if you want to sell 5-frame nukes, even established colonies like this one beside me. But my purpose was to sell mated queens. And so that's my reason I maintain and keep up my beekeeping license. And the 6th and final thing on this list is that you're able to contribute to bee research and outreach efforts. That's personally not something that I'm interested in. If I come upon a breakthrough in the scientific community of beekeeping, I will be happy to share it. But it's not something that I'm interested in doing on a level of research where that research is like in an official scientific paper. I do my own research. Every beekeeper does. You try to see if something works and you find out if it doesn't, or if it does. That's research. And we all do that on some level, whether we realize it or not. So to answer the question, do I have a beekeeping certification on any level? A piece of paper showing you my credibility? Absolutely not. Does that mean I won't ever get one? Not necessarily. Last time I attended a beekeeping conference, I saw one student who was going through the testing period of getting his next level certification, and it looked really fun. It was exciting to be able to be a part of that, even if it was just watching from a distance. But at the same time, the things that the tester was going over with the new guy were quite basic. If I went for a certification, it would only be to gain a credibility. But for those who question me, I think it's probably better that they just look for another beekeeper to satisfy their beekeeping questions. Right now, from my own personal perspective, someone who has been working bees as long as I have and for as many hours a day as I do, you automatically get all that knowledge and more than what a certification is going to teach. So it feels silly for me to get a certification, but that doesn't mean that no one should get one. That just means that at my level, I'm probably not going to go for it. However, I would still encourage any of you who are interested in the different levels of beekeeping certifications, go for it. It has got to be a fun experience, and it is a way to gain some credibility in your community. So even though I don't have one and I never probably will go for one, I definitely encourage those who are interested to do it. It's out there. It's a next level thing in beekeeping that you get to do and experience, so why not? So that's it. My thoughts on beekeeping certifications. Let me know if you have one, what level you're at. If you have any questions about beekeeping certifications in your area, I'd be happy to try to help figure that out for you, or with you. So until next time, tell your friends about the Hive Doctor who does not have a certification, and share this video with them. I hope to see all of you in the next video.